Hi everyone, this is Paul here from the Magdalene Centre. Today I want to talk about Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, starting on the 3rd of December and finishing on the 23rd of December. This retrograde takes place entirely within the sign of Sagittarius, so the entire retrograde will be dominated by the same themes effectively. So with Sagittarius, this is looking at things like faith, hope, optimism, understanding the bigger picture or reevaluating it. It's understanding or learning to understand natural laws. So these are the spiritual laws that underlie everything and nothing is exempt from them. So things like the laws of karma, so cause and effect, etc. So learning to align with them. And it also deals with looking at the big picture and getting that sense of idealism, because Sagittarius rules things like religion, so it's not Pisces, which is spirituality, so the limitless possibilities. Sagittarius is still based about order and it's more one of the signs of the mind as opposed to pure spirit, but it's about expanding the mind beyond its current boundaries in order to encompass a more all-encompassing view of the world and a more all-encompassing understanding of things. And most importantly is developing greater self-understanding. Because if we understand ourselves, understand our own beliefs and understand how those colour our perceptions, we can then make changes in our lives to embrace more empowering beliefs, which then empowers our worldview to be more all-encompassing, more understanding of ourselves and others. But during the retrograde, as always, it's all about reviewing things. So during this time, as with all Mercury retrogrades, this isn't the best time to make any core decisions. It's more time for researching, because Mercury retrograde is like it's normally when Mercury's direct, we focus on attention. This is where the mind is focused on the immediate task, largely to the exclusion of everything else. When Mercury turns retrograde, however, this is about awareness, so it's slowing down, becoming still within ourselves, so that we can then allow information that we've missed so far to permeate into our minds, uninhibited by various filters or internal blocks, and allow this new information to be incorporated into what we already know, and reevaluate our choices or reevaluate our plan of action based on this. So during the Mercury retrograde is a very good time for researching, because this is when we may find a lot of answers that we may have missed before when Mercury was direct, and now we're reviewing this area in Sagittarius, new insights that we've missed so far may suddenly be shown to us to help us understand the big picture and to reveal the truth of a situation. So Mercury retrograde is like a time of truth, if you like, and it's a time where in order to incorporate this truth we have to slow down. So if we carry on moving ahead at a breakneck pace, it's how Mercury direct likes to operate, we're not going to get that information, or we're not going to be open and receptive to it. So the chaos of a Mercury retrograde is effectively our own subconscious helping to try and, or manifesting externally to try and slow things down and get us to stop and become more aware of what's going on, more aware of the big picture, and to be prepared to make changes later on based on new insights that we've missed, that reveals that our current course of action may not actually be the wisest. So with Mercury going retrograde through Sagittarius, one of the key areas that we're going to have to reviewing is our beliefs. So this could be beliefs around religion or around spirituality. More often than not, this is beliefs about ourselves, what we're capable of doing, beliefs of who we are, and beliefs of how the world around us works, because we've all had different formative experiences, and ideally with Sagittarius, yes, it's about forming those belief systems, but it's also necessary to be open to new experiences which challenge those beliefs and show us where we need to change the beliefs to allow a wider, more encompassing view to take place. However, if we do not maintain this openness of the mind and a willingness to embrace these changes, then we're looking at the shadow side of Sagittarius, and we see this in the world around us. It manifests as things like fanaticism and the need to be right at all cost, even if that means hurting other people to try and protect a cherished belief, even though that belief may well be false. So during the Mercury retrograde, we need to slow down and allow our minds to sink into the unconscious, to look into our own unconscious biases which we may not be aware of. If we understand what our beliefs are and we make our beliefs conscious, we can then figure out, okay, where are these beliefs sabotaging our progress? Where do these beliefs undermine that desire for expansion or to become bigger, better versions of ourselves? Where are we holding on to beliefs which actually sabotage us? They may well be cherished beliefs based on formative experiences a long time ago that we've based our identity around it, but at the end of the day there comes a point where beliefs no longer serve us, and we need to learn to let go of them no matter how cherished they are, because that belief is now holding us back. It served its purpose. It's time to review it and let it go. So this is a time where we need to be open to challenging our own perceptions, challenging our own beliefs about things, and being open to new insights. Sagittarius deals with natural law, so this may all feel like a time where it's time to unplug a bit and spend more time in nature, which is Sagittarius' domain, and in that stillness in nature, go within ourselves and figure out what are our beliefs, especially around things like what we're capable of, because how many times we may have a dream to do something big, but at the same time we believe we can't do it because we're lacking in some way. So these are also beliefs that we need to challenge, because we may actually, as much as we may have dreams that are big, part of us may actually secretly want to play small rather than embracing the power of our own inner light. We'd rather stick to the shadows of who we are so that we don't have to play big, we don't have to be seen. So this is a time where we need to slow down, spend time with ourselves and really question our own beliefs about who we are, what we're capable of doing, and are there any ulterior motives that those beliefs serve, like keeping us small, like preventing us from taking responsibility for ourselves, because responsibility is the key step towards personal freedom. Because Sagittarius loves freedom, and if we take personal responsibility for ourselves and we learn to challenge our own perceptions and not take our own beliefs too seriously, especially ones based in the past that are based on conditioning from either the people or formative experiences, we often form a belief around these experiences, and this belief may well stop us from achieving our true potential, or may stop us from realising that there's a better way to do things, there's a more loving and empowering way to do things. So during the Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, we do need to question these beliefs, and if we can understand where they came from, then so much the better, because we then can see, okay, well, things aren't like that anymore, so this belief clearly no longer serves who we are. It's time to let it go, so our identity can be released from that prison of limiting belief, and our identity can expand as a result through widening our perceptions, widening our understanding of the world, and achieving greater self-understanding. And this is self with a capital S, it's the higher self, not the ego. Because the more we understand our true selves, the more we empower ourselves to take actions aligned with that higher self. So Mercury retrograde is a time where we need to look at the beliefs which stop us from operating from a higher self, and stop us from working within the natural laws of things. Because when we're aligned with the laws of nature, then we tap into the universal flow. If we don't align with them, then everything that we try and do may be cherished dream, but we'll be fighting for it because we're not taking the right kind of actions. So if there are beliefs that we hold, that we have, that cause us to take actions which are not aligned with these universal laws, then we need to challenge that belief and let it go, so that we can see the wisdom of changing our actions in order to change the outcome. So this is a time where we need to take that inward journey of questioning our beliefs, of opening ourselves up to a higher vision, a higher meaning to things, and trying to move beyond the personal beliefs that limit us, or any clannish beliefs, and expand our perception so that we see things more for how they are rather than how we think they should be or how we want them to be. Because if we're open to how everything is, then it's no longer going to cause that dissonance within us. Because if we just accept things as they are and as they come, then the stress and the cognitive dissonance which drives so much conflict that we see around us is not likely to occur, because we're not holding on to a cherished belief which keeps us limited, and we've based our identity around it. So during this time, we need to be slowing down. We need to be looking at our own belief systems to understand what it is that we believe, and how do these beliefs hold us back or prevent us from shining the light that we're all capable of shining, and operating from that powerful side of ourselves through releasing the parts of ourselves that we use to justify playing small in our lives and not taking responsibility. Because the more we take responsibility for our own selves, the more we can achieve that freedom and sense of expansion that is one of the key endpoints of the evolutionary path of Sagittarius, which is achieving that freedom through taking personal responsibility and striving for self-understanding, so that what we're doing is aligned with who we are. It's not based on what other people tell us we should be doing. So I hope it's a useful gauge for Mercury retrograde. May it bring you many insights into yourself, and may it show you the path to greater personal freedom through releasing beliefs that keep you playing small. So may you get many blessings from the Mercury retrograde. Take care.